僕たちの国は石化現象によって人々が住む場所を追われつつあります。それが原因で国同士が争い戦争に発展しようとしています。
お前は我が国で唯一のレウスライダーだ。
私たちはもうどうにもならないところまで追い詰められてしまっているのよ。
僕は行かないといけない。北限を越えて聖域を目指す。エース！通してもらうよ。
音がする。2つ音が重なって聞こえるよ。
プレイステーション。
When I was a kid, I was always staring up at the moon. It was a reminder of where we could go, what we could be. Now, it's just a reminder of how much we've lost. More and more of Earth is being bought and turned into Tyrannia. How long until the entire planet is consumed? We should have stopped them years ago. But today, we take our world back.
私はライザリン・シュタート、通称はライザ。なんてことない農家の娘で錬金術師。冒険なのよ、冒険。今行くと決めなきゃ何も始まらないでしょ。この小さな屋根裏部屋でどうするどうしたいって話し合ってたのがずっと昔の出来事みたい。ありがとう。またここから始めてみる。
空間島を守るのが私の望み。
旅慣れた行商人としては当然の心得ですよ。私は霊騎士族のキロシャイナス。君の名前は？
俺はボースブルネン。
さすがのライザも現役の悪ガキにはお手上げか。
行くしかない。王とアスラームバートに。大丈夫。私は諦めてないよ。絶対に手がかりを見つけてみせる。
意図はどうあれ結果は一緒だ。やることは変わらん。
おせっかいでもある程度は守ってやらんとな。再びこの地を踏むことになるとはな。
足の重さを振り払うにはちょうどいい鍛錬だ。行くぞ。
バイバイ。またね。声や心のかけらはどこかに残ってつながっていくんだよ。ここから芽吹く花を私は見てみたい。
よう、久しぶりだな、工場長。
私からの思いは4年前に託した。ここに植えられているのはこの世界のものじゃない。ありがとう、霊気の戦士ボースブルネ。この子霊獣なのに小さくてかわいい。これくらいの方が楽しいでしょ。どの服着よっかな。これまでに得た技術の集大成を見せるよ。
You will die very simply. At first, your body sends a signal to the brain, a critical alert. It doesn't matter whether it's a car crash or your heart simply stopping from old age. The brain shuts down everything else to pour its last energy into one final fight. You enter a state your mind remembers as a dream. To the outside world, you may already appear dead. The heart may have stopped. But inside, your brain is still alive, and it begins to dream. A vivid dream, fueled by the last sparks of life. Maybe the most vivid dream you will ever have. Maybe everything around you right now is already that dream. You won't know you're dying. The dream might be peace or horror. Depends on how you lived, what you fed your mind. That's why it wasn't worth it. The fear, the cruelty, the shame. Because this is where it leads to your personal heaven or your personal hell for a while. And then the dream ends when the energy runs out. It can't be felt, just like you never felt the moment when your last dream ended.
Skippy, I'm coming home! I want it! I want it! I want it! I want it! Rejection! I soar upon metal wings!
Why won't nobody play with me?
Then fight me! I got you! More power for the slaughter! Freeze and perish! My end will be loud and red. Just leave it to me. Was this the loud ending you wanted?
様がハイデンの王だな。
魔獣をクレバです。
答えよ。なぜ我が死を望んだ？
獣には理解できまい。
あれが四大魔獣。エドセアの南の果てを滑る月光のクレバテス。
我はクレバテス、人族すべてを殺すと決めた。
この赤き至高の鋼とその誇りに誓って奴を必ず倒す。
勇者の称号を得た者に託される伝説の武器。
この後も我が血を脅かすというのであれば、一度確かめてみねばなるまい。
なんだその姿。
こやつも我にも人の世界を歩くには名がいる。我はクレ、ウヌはルナだ。
これが勇者としての私の最後の使命だ。テレビアニメ「クレバテス魔獣の王と赤子と屍の勇者」7月より放送開始。
ルナのクソは洗い流せたかと聞いている。そこ拭き残してる。もっと丁寧に。力を入れすぎだ。赤くなってる。指の間もちゃんとやれ。今度は力の
中身があれなくせにいちいち細かい。
本当に綺麗なのであろうな。
こいつは私のママ母か。
Slow there, meatbag. How about a brain jack to upgrade your potential?
We are the Doom. We have turned empires to ash. And now, your world is next.
You're looking for quality? You came to the right place. For you.
Accessible through the main menu, the Ripatorium will give players a new way to rip and tear through the demonic horde. We are giving you the controls to create your own encounter. allowing players to take on the role of lead combat designer inside of Doom: The Dark Ages. Just pick the arena, the music track, the demon type you want to fight, and how many per wave. The number of waves, set the difficulty, and a time limit, then just press start and have fun. You can refine the experience after the match to whatever feels good to you. The end game is simple. You are the super weapon. Kill them all before the timer runs out. We'd like to expand on the Ripatorium more in future updates, so stay tuned for more info in the months ahead. We've also made several refinements to the combat in Dark Ages. Too many to list. Check the release notes for everything, but here's some noteworthy improvements. We increased the weapon swap speed for every gun, which feels awesome. You can also now interrupt any weapon swap animation to block incoming attacks, and also block more quickly after shield bash. And probably most important of all, we added a slow-mo adjustment slider to the game. Every melee and shield animation impact can be adjusted now to whatever feels right for you. On the audio front, we've rebalanced the music in every large encounter to align with the combat just a little bit better. We also made some additional updates to improve the flow of the Dragon and Atlan experience, along with some weapon balance tweaks for the Slayer. And lastly, we refined several heavy encounters in Acts 2 and 3 of the game, increasing the depth and engagement in these combat spaces. So those are some of the highlights. There is a ton more, so check the Slayers Club for more details about all the work put into this amazing update.
Welcome to Dream Garden, a cozy simulation game where you can build your perfect garden diorama. Use the rake tool to trace Zen patterns in pebbles and sand, and shape the landscape to your liking with hills, rivers, and ponds. Sit back, de-stress, and let your creativity flow. Add hand-sketched sculptures, trees, bridges, and more, designing your perfect tranquil hideaway. There's no rules and no limitations, just you and your imagination.
Asyon and Tanya, driven by endless desires, a dungeon emerged between the two empires. In the unpredictable chaos of the dungeon, the witch's curse awaits. Perhaps a small price to pay for fame and riches.
第5次聖杯戦争が終結したはずの冬騎士で、繰り返される4日間、嘘のような平穏な日常。そんな日々とは裏腹に繰り返される凄惨な夜、繰り広げられる戦い、新たなるマスターとサーバント、そして監督者。約束の4日間を再び。
さあ、聖杯戦争を続けよう。
When the bugs came, everything we knew was taken from us. Hope faded faster than we could fight back. We thought it was the end of times. Turns out, it's morphin' time.
Have you ever wondered why the formation of the barrier went out of control? I know the other mages haven't, but I'm not like the other mages. I see everything. And I see how the barrier affects all living things in this God's forsaken colony. And every convict will eventually succumb to its influence. The old camp, with their pitiful illusion of order and safety. And yes, the so-called Brotherhood of the Sleeper, worshipping their mysterious god. They might be onto something. And the orcs. Well, you might dismiss their culture as primitive, but it would be prudent to study them carefully. Maybe the key to all of this lies buried deep under their sanctuaries. I cannot unravel these mysteries all alone. I need allies. Allies who look out for more than their own survival. Allies who accomplish things you might have considered impossible. Allies I will meet soon enough.
Welcome to Guntouchables. It's a co-op roguelike action shooter where you and your fellow survivors blast your way through the wasteland. The good news is this post-apocalyptic world is filled with loads of cool loot and upgrades to help you survive. The bad news is, it's also filled with a ton of gross freaks that want you dead. Your mission is to go in guns blazing, stockpile toilet paper, and make it to the big bad boss. If the boss has an ass, you need to kick it. If it doesn't, just shoot it wherever it hurts most. Guntouchables is great to play with your friends, or with friendly strangers on the internet. But if you've got bad internet or no friends, you can enjoy it in single player too. Surviving in this ruined world is no cakewalk. There's work to do. Each stage of your mission will require you to complete some classic apocalypse activities, like picking up a case of brewskis to enjoy back at the bunker, or breaking into an old warehouse to get more toilet paper. In the apocalypse, we call it white gold. You might have to reboot abandoned radio towers too. And of course, you'll need to destroy the disgusting mutant hives that are birthing these abominable freaks into this world. And this is an upgrade. Like upgrade, but crate. It's what keeps us sniffing around this wasteland like a pack of heavily armed truffle pigs. Upcrates contain powerful upgrades for your weapons and your own abilities. Some are just reasonably cool, like in the green crates. Then you've got your golden crates, which have got some crazy accoutrements. But the real juicy goods are in the red crates. For those, you're going to have to fight for your life in a 1-minute mano-a-mano in the stinky meat challenge room if you want to get the goods. In Guntouchables, you're going to run into all sorts of dangerous freaks. You've got your run-of-the-mill mutants. Nothing fancy, but they're a threat in numbers. Then you've got some special mutants with nasty tricks like spitting acid at you or exploding into flames. We've got our elites and our bosses too. These heavy hitters, like the stampeding war tusk, can ruin your whole day faster than you can say will and testament. Plus, these mutants are going to mutate. That's why we call them mutants. They might get faster or regenerate health or start poisoning you. So you're going to need to stay adaptable. The good news is you've got plenty of guns for shooting all these mutants. You've got your starter weapons for each mission, but the real cool stuff you'll have to pick up during your missions. There's a gun for every taste and occasion. We've got little quick shooters, big heavy shooters, extra zappy shockers, explosive ordnance, you name it. Plus, you can throw on all sorts of upgrades, like bigger mags, or bigger bullets, or spicy bullets. How about upgrading your shotgun to have a 360-degree spread? In between stages, you'll have the opportunity to visit the shop, where you can spend your hard-earned money on new abilities, weapon upgrades, and powerful new firearms. Plus, we've got Baxter's Bazaar, where the real high-ticket items can be had. At the bazaar, you can unlock powerful starter items, plus legendary upgrades to encounter during your run. But Baxter's only accepts beans as payment, so keep an eye out for bean cans when you're out in the wasteland. In Guntouchables, you can play as 4 tenacious survivors. Big Bang Barry Backhausen is your resident demolitions expert and old-school badass. He's the type to bring a grenade to a gunfight. Dr. Marcus was once one of the worst doctors in the country. Now he's the only surviving doctor in the world, which makes him the best, sort of. Linda is a former elite scout leader. She's the outdoor survival expert and close-range fighter. Her motto is live, laugh, leave nothing standing. Alfred, the team's sharpshooter, is passionate about 3 things: hunting, canned food, and fringe conspiracy theories. He's doing just fine these days. Every team member has their own special skills, such as explosion or owning a shovel, and you'll have to use these skills to survive your mission. You'll also have to stick close together so you don't get left behind in the dark. Use your stamina to dash, dodge, and fuel your special skills. And make sure to scavenge special pickup items like medkits, minigun turrets, energy drinks, and wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. As you complete missions out in the wasteland, all that experience starts to add up, and you'll start to unlock some character upgrades to start each run. I think the kids call this meta progression. In Guntouchables, there's a difficulty level for every player. Hell, you can adjust it however you want. Enemy health, enemy damage, how many enemies, how long the mission is, you name it. It's mix and match. So, that's the game in a nutshell. But Guntouchables is only just getting started. You can expect more updates from there. More missions, more enemies, more upgrades, more guns. So it's time to gear up, lock and load, and kick Doomsday's ass. Guntouchables.
Son, I will tell you why it is hard to be a man when you have to stand even when you lost the game. Nothing in common Yet the same story, same old road. When you scream, that's the last time you've been fooled again. With the cold blood veins, with the snake's tongues in your mouth, reaching out some lights. No illumination, it's all I see. You don't belong with me, it's all I see.
PlayStation
one of our best runners. I want you to take his place. We're counting on you for the next journey.
Arriving at Chahaya.
Hello? Anyone down there?
I know your dreams, child. I know they have been broken. But it is your nightmares I am interested in. Tell me, when did they start?
Kirby and the Forgotten Land game is getting an upgrade on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Star-Crossed World. The upgrade expands on the original game and adds a brand new story called Star-Crossed World. A massive meteor suddenly crashes into the Forgotten Land. Its impact causes a strange volcanic island to rise from the ocean. To seal away an impending evil, Kirby must now gather the Starries, fragments of stars scattered across the land. The meteor's impact has caused other changes in the Forgotten Land as well. In the brand new Starry stages, familiar locations have been transformed. Ascend buildings or explore the ocean floor in areas that were previously inaccessible. But watch out! The Beast Pack have also become more powerful under the meteor's effect. Newly added foes will also try to slow you down. Break crystals scattered throughout stages to discover new paths. Rescue the Starries at the end of each stage to open up the next one. Once you complete the first area, Natural Plains, you'll be able to access the Star-Crossed World. There are also 3 new mouthful modes. Bounce around with Spring Mouth. High jump to reach lofty platforms. And smash down to squash enemies or break objects and surfaces. Latch on the walls with Gear Mouth. You can even get rolling vertically. Slide on slopes with Sign Mouth. Spin to attack foes in your way, or jump to reach things in the air. Collect Starry coins in each stage, then spend them to acquire new figures from Astronomer Waddle Dee. You can also head to the Coliseum and take on a new challenge, the Ultimate Cup ZEX. Test your mettle and might in an even tougher boss rush. Additionally, with the enhanced capabilities of Nintendo Switch 2, enjoy improved graphics and faster frame rates when playing the main game on Nintendo Switch 2. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Star-Crossed World, launches on Nintendo Switch 2, August 28th. Nintendo Switch 2 players who already have Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Nintendo Switch can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Star-Crossed World by purchasing the Upgrade Pack.
Something big is coming! Oh, September 30th?
That's when everyone can play
LEGO Party! So what's in store for our players at home?
There's over 1 gazillion customization options.
Is that even a real number?
And just wait till you see our Ninjago Challenge Zone.
Wow! It's an action-packed contest for the most golden bricks! Whoa! How could this game get any better?
How about 60 amazing mini games?
Whoa! Now that's a montage!
All this and more in
LEGO Party! Hey, over here! Pre-order now and receive these exclusive minifigures.
LEGO Party may lead to excessive fun. Side effects include giggles, high-pitched laughter, spontaneous high fives, prolonged smiles that may lead to family bonding. Turkey not included.
Let me be your vengeance. The blade in your hand.
PlayStation。
ああ。
Mobius is sick now. It corrupted the other engineers. I warned them of the erosion.
Couldn't you help it?
They didn't see it until it was too late. Maybe by wanting more than we need, we brought darkness into this world. It's time we drop these inferior shells. Release ourselves from the chains that bind us.
I remember you. What you did.
They messed up your mind. Don't let them keep doing it, Asta. We can make things right.
I'm afraid your time is up.
Show me that you are better than that. I'll bring it to whatever end.
I will protect the citizens. From you.
Let's shine together!
許せん。しかも俺を狩りに現れないのが余計許せん。ハゲマントだからか。ガローって野郎を見つけ出してぶん殴ってやる。
Pick up your camera. Show me what you truly see.
I need to head up that mountain. My home's up there.
That's not exactly walking distance.
Sorry for dragging you on this trip.
Well, I can't let a kid go up there alone.
They say I'm fading away.
If anyone should be gone, it's failures like me. Not someone with their whole life ahead.
Hey!
Every star up there is a flame.
If there's a god in the fire, would they see the moments that we capture?
Even the ones that show what's in our hearts.
Hey kiddo, when you make it back, I hope you grow up strong. Even when your best isn't enough, try to stay brave.
If there's something you want to keep, capture it so it stays.
I did not die, and I alive remained not. They say fate is written in blood, carved into our bones long before our first breath. Long ago, an oath was made that when darkness returned, so would its undoing. Two brothers were chosen, a sword and a shield, to stand against the tide. And yet, I walk this path alone. Blinded by his curse and power, Dracula forged monsters from his own blood and named them children. Though he was cast into hell, the spawn of his ambition still haunts the ancient Dacian lands, sowing chaos among the innocent. They fear it. But fear is for those who have something to lose. And I have nothing but vengeance. The Order of Wallachia.
PlayStation
What fate a slug cat? Prey and predator. As the old world died, a new ecosystem evolved. In a land where even rain can kill, each creature struggles for its own survival. Each beast has a place on the food chain, which it seeks to deny. And through this ruined landscape, strange monstrosities and ancient mysteries, the slug cat journeys alone. It is a search for shelter, a search for answers, a search for hope. What fate the slug cat?
In Sea of Thieves Season 17, you'll encounter the mysterious members of the Smugglers League. Uncover the devastating explosive power of black powder barrels. Pull off a cunning heist in an all-new time-limited event. And face off against Flameheart's forces in a thrilling new fort experience. There's all this and more to discover as you set sail for adventure in Sea of Thieves Season 17, Smuggler's Tide. The Smugglers League have sailed in from unknown waters and established hideouts across the various islands of the Sea of Thieves. Seek them out and embark on new Smugglers Run voyages, where you'll have to ferry cargo from one smuggler hideout to another. You might be tasked with shuttling some vintage bottles of golden greed or dark demise, or perhaps a stunning piece of fine art. However, the most rewarding and unsurprisingly the riskiest of the new smuggler cargo comes in the form of black powder barrels. These hefty barrels might be a little cumbersome to carry, but they hold an explosive force greater than anything pirates have encountered so far on the Sea of Thieves. So while you can sell them for a tidy profit, you can also use them to deliver some devastation. You'll also find smuggler shipwrecks out on the waves. While the Smugglers League managed to escape to shore, they've left behind valuable cargo for you to plunder. As well as black powder barrels, fine art and crates of rum, you might also find the new Skull of Siren Sorrow, or the Horn of Fair Winds, or even an Obsidian Ashen Wind Skull as well. Just make sure not to mix up which one does what. You'll also be able to find some of the smugglers' loot washed up on shore, but that's not the only place. Roaming skeleton ships have scooped up some of the new cargo for themselves and are storing it on board, including, of course, the new black powder barrels. Well, no one ever said the Skellies were smart. In the second month of Season 17, you'll be able to take part in a new time-limited event, the Smuggler's Heist, which sees you race against other crews to be the first to get your hands on a rare and valuable piece of art and return it to the Smugglers League. For the crew that manages to pull it off, the rewards are vast, so don't expect this one to go uncontested. And in the final month of Season 17, you can dive into an all-new fort experience. Flameheart's forces have taken control and modified the fort to be more challenging than ever before. You'll battle a fleet of ghost ships, then make use of some delightfully deadly traps as you fight your way through waves of Order of Bone and Blade Skellies and fearsome Dark Brethren phantoms. And with a new season comes another 100 levels of shiny new rewards to unlock, with an incredible array of items for both your ship and pirate. The reasons for the Smugglers League's sudden appearance on the Sea of Thieves may still be shrouded in mystery. However, you won't find any pirate fashionistas worrying about the arrival of new styles to show off. And there's even more to unlock with the Season 17 Plunder Pass, available as an optional purchase. The Rare Regalia collection sports some of the finest jewels the Sea of Thieves has to offer, and is the perfect way to celebrate our many years of adventures. Such finery is rare on the Sea of Thieves, but how could you do less for such a special occasion? So come and join the Smugglers League for 3 months of all new adventures filled with danger and excitement. Very explosive new cargo as you complete daring smugglers' runs. Fend off the other pirates of the Sea of Thieves as you pull off a stunning heist in a new time-limited event. And battle Captain Flameheart's forces at the newly upgraded Reaper's Forts. There's all of this and more just waiting to be discovered in Sea of Thieves Season 17, Smuggler's Time.